everybody. Rob Price here along with my color analyst, Tim Roberts. Tim, it's been a great season. We've reached the end of the line here, and tournament play starts in just a few days.
Yeah, 1 week from, well, yesterday actually, 6 days away. So the Lady Lions are walking in to Fort Worth, Texas to fight for the Red River Conference title. And just this afternoon, we learned that the tournament's set. 1 through 6 is set. The University of St. Thomas Lady Celts won against the Our Lady Lake Lady Saints. Therefore, 1 through 6 is set. The Lady Lions will be your 6th seed and will be taking on the number 3 seeded Lady Celts, who they beat twice this year. We'll have more about that later, to preview that. But right now, we're about to take on the Jarvis Christian College Bulldogs for what we're saying is the final home game for the Lady Lions this year. Final home game for senior. And so it's going to be a really good day here. We're going to finish off strong.
We're going to honor Caitlin Hudson, the lone graduating senior. And by the indication, we should pull off a win. The Jarvis Bulldogs just 1-14 on the year, 1-9 in conference play. Meanwhile, the Lady Lions coming off a nice, relatively easy win this morning, a 3-0 win game against the Texas College, what are the Wildcats? There's so many teams we're playing.
You've forgotten already. Let's go to Bianca Alarcon right now with Coach Hank Moore. Talk about this game. Bianca?
For the Lady Lions, just joking. Thanks, guys. I'm here with head coach for the Lady Lions volleyball team, Hank Moore. Now, Coach, earlier today we earned our spot in the Red River Athletic Conference Tournament. What's the mindset going into tonight's game against Jarvis?
Well, this is a big match just simply from a conference standpoint where we want to win. We want to win out so we can get our numbers up where we're 7-4 in the conference, which is a good finish for us. And then it's also a special night because of Caitlin Hudson's, her last home regular season match. So we want to play well for her and in her honor of her 4 years here.
And one of the Bulldogs' strong point is their outside hitting. What are we going to do tonight to counter that attack?
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to make a little change. You'll see it in set 2 where we're going to run a 6-2 with 2 setters. So we're a little bit bigger on the right side block and their outside hitters.
Thanks so much, Coach, and good luck in tonight's game.
Thank you very much.
Rob and Tim, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Bianca, and thank you, head coach Hank Moore. So he is going to be the number 6 seed in his team, and let's take a look at the matchup specifically. Beginning match number 1, the 5 versus 4 seed will be 11 a.m. on Friday. That's Texas Wesleyan University, the host team, will square off against Our Lady of the Lake, who captured the number 4 seed. And then match 2, your Lady Lions in action, number 6 seed against number 3 seed at 1:30 against University of St. Thomas. We beat them, as you said, twice already this year.
Yeah, so those are 2 great matchups to start off the tournament. And for both teams, it only gets tougher after that.
After that, semifinal number 1 will be Wiley versus the winner of that TWU Lady Lake match. And then waiting in the wings, the UT Brownsville squad, a dominant powerhouse, not just in our conference, in the entire NAIA, will await the winner of the SAGU St. Thomas match.
Yeah, so this is one of the most difficult tournaments you can imagine. When you look at how good the Lady Lions are and realize that there's 5 teams in the Red River Conference who are statistically, record-wise, better than them, you realize how stacked the Red River Conference is. This, of course, will be Lady Lions' last Red River Conference tournament, as next year they are moving to the Sooner Athletic Conference. So one last chance to make some waves. Some old faces, obviously, we're moving up with Texas Wesleyan, but some old faces like Wiley, UT Brownsville, St. Thomas, got one last shot to leave a memory with them, and hopefully it's not too good of a taste.
Right.
Well, let's look at some key players, the team leaders right now. Lady Lions updated from this morning. Leading kills, Jessica Soda, she's up to 471 after her performance this morning. Taylor Caverly is now over 1,100 kills on the year with 1,116 total, assists. 1,116 assists on the year. Jessica Soda, she leads the team in digs with 343. And Cassie Cox got another block to lead the team with 68 blocks. Caitlin Hudson still leads the team with 31 aces on the year. And now, of course, this will be her last home game. We'll have Senior Day festivities coming up during the pregame announcements and warm-up in just a moment, so stay tuned for that for sure. Now, for Jarvis Christian College, not a pristine year for them so far. Only 1 win. That win came to the Red River Conference. Their ace leader is Jessica Marenko with 21. Kills, Larisha Murphy with 72. Assist, Jessica Marenko with 188. Digs, Carolina Marenko with 112. And blocks, Brittany Moore with 33. This is another one of those series that the Lady Lions have just dominated. They've won the last 9 matches dating back to 2005. The Jarvis has yet to take a game from them. That's 9 matches, 9 sweeps. Lady Lions already have 1 sweep today, looking to pocket a second one.
Now, we were talking before the broadcast began, and what's the incentive really for the team to play? Well, there's big incentive. You do not want to go into tournament play with that bad taste in your mouth with a loss against an inferior team at all.
An upset loss would not feel good. You want to have that confidence going in that you have right now, the confidence of hanging tight with the number 2 team for 5 games.
Yeah.
You want to be able to sweep the competition. You know you can. This would be the last. You never want to say any game's easy because every team's playing hard.
Well, look what happened in the last match.
Yeah. Texas College.
We won 3-0, but those were not the easiest of sets.
No, they were not. Texas College put up a good fight, and you can bet that Jarvis, this is their last game of the season too. This is the last time they get to play for about 10 months, so they want to put everything they've got on the court right now. For the Lady Lions, this is the last game you're going to play against a team not in the tournament. So this would be a huge warm-up for them, huge chance to go into both tournaments with a little bit of momentum on your side.
And honestly, I'm looking for another big game from our surprise player of the game a few hours ago, J.J. Abbott, the freshman from Washington. I wouldn't say stunned us all, but surprised us all with outstanding play, and the stats showed it. Ended up with 9 kills, Tim, 571 hitting percentage, and although you have your Sodiches and your Hudsons and your Coxes who did their normal thing, it was Abbott who just kind of broke through and said, hey, I'm here, don't forget me.
And that's key going forward because we know we have Sodiches, we know we have Hudson, we know we have Cox, but to pull a big upset in the Red River Conference Tournament against somebody like UT Brownsville, it's going to take a freshman like Abbott, a freshman like Pascal, stepping up and being a dominant 4th player. You can't beat teams with a big 3 in volleyball. You got to have a dominant 4th player to rise up. And if Abbott or Pascal can have one of these surprise games we talked about, not that we know they're talented, we know what they can do, but if they can step up and be bigger than they already are, that's how you stun a team like UT Brownsville, when you have 4 or 5 players playing the best game of their life. So we're a week away from that. Be sure to stay tuned to our Facebook page. We'll be keeping you updated all next weekend, every step of the way for that big action.
And we discovered a secret weapon a few hours ago, Taylor Calverley. A kills machine.
Yeah, she got
several
3 of them,
impressive.
But a couple of them got you surprised with how hard she could hit it. So that's what's going to take. Your Lady Lions playing perfect going forward. And when you got a team right now with Jarvis that you feel like you can really start to master your ways against, you want to have that perfect game right now. Tune up for next week when you're going to be playing nothing but great competition.
And we're waiting to hear, and we'll pass along to you, scores from today's football game up in Langston as your Lions try to pull back up to 4-5 and maybe close out the season at a 500 mark next Saturday.
Yeah, so if we get any updates on that, you'll be the first to know, absolutely. Well, we're about a minute and a half away from the beginning of the game. We're going to go with a quick commercial break, come back with on-court action after this. Welcome back to the Schaefer Center, just moments away from beginning what will be the last home game for the Lady Lions this year. During pregame, we'll be honoring the only senior for the Lady Lions, Miss Hudson, she has put together a dominant career as a Lady Lion. She has number 3 on the all-time kills list, so we are just moments away from honoring her after the prayer and national anthem. So let's go down to the on-court announcer for all that.
Welcome to Southwestern SAGU University for this afternoon's game, featuring the Bulldogs. Please rise for a word of prayer and remain standing for the national anthem sung by our lovely Devin Wines. Father, thank you for this day. Lord, thank you for a great season for the volleyball girls, Lord. We thank everyone that has been worked hard in and out for each game. Father, I pray for the team when they go past this season, God, that you guide them. And Lord, I pray right now, I pray for our senior Caitlin and for the rest of the team, Lord, that you just continue to guide their way. Lord, we praise you, we love you, and I pray we glorify you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Whose broad stripes
Today, we are honoring our lone senior. SAGU would like to express our gratitude to Caitlin Hudson for all her contributions to our university and its volleyball program. Coach Moore would like to express his love and appreciation for the joy she has brought to the SAGU volleyball family. During Caitlin's stellar 4-year career, we have participated in 3 RRAC tournaments, 3 NCCAA regional tournaments, and 2 NCCAA national tournaments. On behalf of all administration, faculty, and coaching staff, we would like to say a heartfelt thank you to Miss Caitlin Hudson. Caitlin Hudson is escorted by her parents, Bobby and Christina Hudson. Caitlin is a 4-year starter as an outside hitter. She has earned a spot in the SAGU record books as the 3rd all-time leader in kills with 1,145 kills. Caitlin has also accumulated 1,319 digs, 58 solo blocks, 115 assist blocks, and 148 service aces. Caitlin would like to thank all my friends and family for coming today. Special thanks to my parents, Bobby and Christina. You guys have sacrificed so much for me, and words cannot describe how blessed I am to have y'all as my parents. You all have stuck by my side through everything and gave me the support I needed. I love y'all so much. Thanks to my brother, Christopher, and my sister-in-law, Chelsea. They've really shown me the meaning of blood being thicker than water. They have my back no matter what, and I couldn't imagine life without them. I love you guys. Also, I want to give a big thank you to Becca K. Dollar. You've been my best friend. If it wasn't for you, then I'd look like an idiot all by myself. I love you so much, Rosie. You are the closest thing I have to a sister. I hope when we're old and gray, we're still making silly videos about nothing. I love you. I'm going to miss everyone, but I'm looking forward to what else God has in store. Thanks again to everyone who has been an encouragement to me and has helped me get where I am. Now let's play. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for your senior, Caitlin Hudson. Southwestern Assemblies of God University welcomes all players, officials, and spectators to today's contest. As a member of the NAIA, the Red River Athletic Conference, we are committed to the true spirit of competition by being a champion of character through the 5 core values that NAIA embraces, which are respect, integrity, responsibility, servant leadership, and sportsmanship. We ask you as a participant, official, or spectator to abide by these values by creating a positive environment in which our athletes may participate. Our officials may work and you, the spectator, may enjoy. Please enjoy this contest. It is now time for the starting lineups for the Bulldogs. Number 6, Brittany Moore. Number 7, Shawnette Woods. Number 8, Larisha Murphy. Number 10, Latifah Bragger. Number 11, Kiara Woods. And number 15, Jessica Marcina. Head coach is Devon Thompson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your Southwestern Lady Lions. At right side, freshman from Waxahachie, Texas, number 3, Caitlin Pascal. And outside hitter, sophomore from Arlington, Texas, number 5, Jessica Sonich. At middle hitter, freshman from Kenmore, Washington, number 6, J.J. Abbott. And outside hitter, senior from Mansfield, Texas, number 8, Caitlin Hudson. At center, junior from Mansfield, Texas, number 9, Taylor Calverley. At middle hitter, junior from Lufkin, Texas, number 11, Cassie Cox. And that libero, freshman from Randolph, Texas, number 2, Emily Smith. Head coaches, head board, assistant by Charlie Briggs and Kyle Nelson on the staff.
All right, it is time for volleyball action as the Lions will conclude their season on a Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock here against the Jarvis Christian College Bulldogs. And again, congratulations to our lone graduating senior, Kaylin Hudson. She's got the green band, wears number 8 for Lady Lions. And let's hope she finishes out on a big bang and a big high note today, Tim.
Yeah, I would imagine that that's on her mind right now. One last chance to impress the home crowd and enjoy, you know, just enjoy what time has been here for her. She had the big 1,000th kill on our first broadcast here on SAGU Sports Live this year. And like we mentioned, 3rd all-time kill leader for the Lady Lions. And if you just look up at the corner of the gym, there's some banners hanging up there. So you know this has been a program that's been good for a while. So
8 of them.
Yep, so being the 3rd all-time kill leader is nothing to sneeze at in the history of this program. So, Lady Lions, chance to stretch their overall record to 7-4. I'm sorry, the overall record to 17-14, and their Red River Conference record to 7-4. You can't ever say it enough. This team started out 1-8, and it seemed for the moment that maybe this was not quite their year. Maybe this is the year that the 7-year winning streak got interrupted, but Coach Moore has turned this team around, full of young players, spearheaded by a great group of tri-captains. And now here they go, one final game.
How about Caitlin for the first point? Textbook once again, just love that bump straight to Calverley, the setter in the middle, looking for Hudson the whole way, and she delivers.
Yeah, if you were wondering how much she's involved in that game, that might be your answer.
A dump. Now here's a set from Cox.
Hudson puts that one away.
And another point for Hudson. Oh, they're looking for her. They're going to look for her a lot. This could be fun. Block off of Cox's hands. That's number 8, Larisha Murphy, with a nice kill. Latifa Brager. Back set slide to Hudson again. Catches the line. 3 straight for Hudson.
Looking for an impressive kill total today.
Now Hudson back to serve.
3 already. That serve.
That would hit the line. It's good. Good serve.
Right down the line.
Hudson bump. Set forward to Sodich. Hits the blocker's hands, falls on the Bulldog side of play. 4-0 SAGU.
4-1.
Check that, 4-1.
And already it feels like the Lady Lions are on the same page more than they were this morning. The kills.
How about that one? How about that one on the line on the right side? Hudson mixing it up from the service line.
That was a great serve. There was no way to know where that was going to land. The Lady Lions are looking much more effective than they did this morning.
Cox pushes it down. Jarvis can't handle it.
Which is a weird thing to say in a game that you swept. You swept 3-0, but still there were moments where the Lady Lions seemed like the passes weren't going crisp enough. The kills weren't quite on target. So far, the Lady Lions have looked very good.
By the way, Brittany Briggs getting the start in place of Haskell, the freshman. Usually has been starting the last couple of games, but Briggs gets the nod in the season finale. Briggs, a junior, 5'9" from Maypearl. Hudson, again. Briggs saves that one to set for Cox. Off the net, Bulldogs recover. It's way out of bounds. The Lady Lions are on a roll.
Up 8-1. Jarvis trying to find a way to get around that front line. Not working so far, and the Lady Lions have jumped on top 8-1. If you didn't tune in this morning, the Lady Lions beat Texas College in 3 games, winning the first 25-16, the second 25-18, and the third 25-12. That third game was closer than it seemed. The Lady Lions actually trailed at one point 10-8, I believe it was, and rallied back to win that 25-12, an impressive end to that game. And the momentum they had right there has not stopped so far. They are on a roll to start this one.
Well, we were talking before the weekend began, and you told me if we can win 2 out of 3 this weekend, that puts us in a good position. That's exactly where the Lions are at right now. Losing a tough one last night, a pretty easy win today, so we're right on track to finish 2 out of 3. But the good news is we're already set. We're number 6, and we just want to finish on a high note and hopefully keep this train going for our senior Hudson.
Yep, long ways to go. Hudson still back serving. Been serving very consistently. She's your ace leader, and she just increased that total to 32 a moment ago.
Jarvis having a tough time handling that one. That'll be a free ball. Hudson, back set, slide, and Cox puts it away. No chance for that one to be handled by Brager. Latifah Brager hit her too hard, too fast, couldn't recover, get her hands in position, and that sailed easily out of bounds.
And when Cassie Cox elevates that high, you realize why she's a dual sport athlete and can play basketball as well. Blocked right
Blocked by Cox or Calverley. They were both right there. Easy out of bounds play. The Lions, they watched that fall harmlessly a good 8 feet away. It's 10-1, Tim.
Yeah, nothing going wrong for the Lady Lions right now. This is exactly the script they want to be riding for the last game of the season. Into the net, and Jarvis is unable to really get anything right at the moment, unable to deflect it back. Remember, they've had a very long weekend too. They just played this morning against Texas Wesleyan, got swept, drove down here, and Hudson serves into the net and breaks a 9-0 SAGU run.
It's got to be tough to play in Fort Worth and lose and then drive down a few hours later to another gym, another hostile location, play a second game the same day. So
play another very good team. Texas Wesleyan, we know exactly how good they are, and SAGU is just as good as them. That goes out, and Jarvis is now only down by 8, trying to make a case of it right now at least. Brittany Moore serving.
Back set, just a slide. Cox recovered by the Bulldogs on the net. That's going to be 4 hits. Lions
get
jump
that
up.
one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, never even get that one back over. And that's been a problem a couple of times already. Just inconsistent hitting. It almost does look like the Bulldogs may have a bit of fatigue at the moment.
Nice save by Briggs on the back line. Here's a set. Sodich hits the net and rolls back into the Bulldog side, out of bounds. Point for Southwestern.
That's when you know that
this is going right.
Yeah, that was a great block up front, and it just did not have another quarter inch it needed to get over the net. Emily Smith, such a good freshman server back there.
Well, I am impressed with, I'm impressed with Emily Smith's ability to take that first hit, that first pass, and get it right into Calverley's wheelhouse to set up the set, I should say. Really impressed with that backline play from the libero.
Catches the net there. Oh, Sodich tries to put that one away.
Dump handled by the Lions. Sodich, back right corner, it's good.
And do you feel like this is one of those moments right now where if you could look at the drawings in Coach Moore's playbook, they look exactly like these plays are evolving.
That's going to sail wide, easily wide, is Brittany Moore's attempt for a deep kill shot. Lions snuff that one out, let it fly by, and the libero Smith will serve again. They've now, it's like 4 straight in a row. Calverley, short set to Abbott.
Block.
Oh, and it just trickled through the hands of both Abbott and Calverley. Side out. Bulldogs.
Larisha Murphy back to serve. Bulldogs trailing by 12 here in game 1.
Abbott That's a good deep ball, about a good 8-10 feet behind the net, yet still had the velocity and the angle to confuse and at least catch off guard the Bulldogs, Tim.
That can be a really tough hit when you're that far back to try to skim over the net.
Yeah.
If you hit it too high, it's going out the back. Abbott pushed that one perfect.
It's a back set, not a best of sets. Lions able to handle that one on the blocking front, and now here comes a set from Smith and Sodich.
And Smith
will get credit for that kill.
Smith, nice little set right there. Looked like she was, I thought she's gonna be taking Taylor Cavalry's job anytime soon, but good recovery by the full-time defender. Right back over.
Soft pass over. Here's a short set. Ooh, that hit the net, rolled over from Pascal. She smiles, we play on. Kirk to Sodich. Easy lob over. And that just ate alive Kirk in the back left background, or the back left corner. Kind of an ugly point for both teams.
Yeah,
no one really got their groove on that point.
It felt a little bit like
disjointed
beach volleyball for the moment there, up front, kind of tapping it back and forth.
Yeah. With you and me trying to play this game.
Oh,
nice save by Abbott. Having another great game. Here comes Sodich. Not a great set handled by the Lions. They'll recover. How about the freshman? Oh, and a good block up front. I think that was Brager. Sent that one right back, and the Lions not able to retrieve. Side out, Bulldogs.
Sodich catches the line. Lady Lions, when we talk about that 20 mark, usually you mean it in a much closer game, but at this point I think the 20 mark would safely mean you're in control of game one.
When they only have 6 against you, you're in good shape. Here's Brager. Calverley to Hudson. Went soft. Let's see if she goes hard this time. She does.
Oh, nice look.
Sodich attempted the pancake from the back line.
That was Jessica Marenko. Good job identifying that the Lady Lions had spread out because of the attempt on the kill and just flipped it over the back into the spot where the Lady Lions couldn't get to it.
Shawnette Woods now, number 7, set to serve for the Bulldogs. Good serve to Abbott. Right back to Abbott. How about Pascal? How about Caitlin Pascal? Just put the blocking hands up and just shoved it back down.
You like seeing players just take it upon themselves. You love team volleyball, and Lady Lions is such a good team, but occasionally when they just go up and say, you know what, I'm going to end this right now. And when you see a freshman doing it, you kind of love that.
Good to see. Here's more. Calverley. Powerful shot from the senior, and no one got that one. Miscommunication between, let's see, that was Moore and Marenko. Couldn't decide who was going to take it. It fell harmlessly to the ground. An easy point for Southwestern. 21-7 now.
And we've seen 2 plays in a row where the intimidation factor of Cox
could be
and
short.
Pascal up front has forced them to hit the ball high and then not hit it at all.
In the middle.
Hudson, a
nice left-handed hit over. Play on as a block from Cox. Another block. A great save from Pascal. Play on. Safe play, but Bulldogs having trouble with that one. They'll send it back over. Long point developing. How about Cox? A good deep ball. Here comes another free ball for the Lions. I like where this is going now. That's it right there. That's it. You saw it coming. That point lasted too long, and Cox put it away.
Cassie Cox came running from about 4 feet back, and you could just tell she was waiting for that perfect serve from Calverley. And it was. Lady Lions get a big kill there. Ball goes out. Point for Jarvis. Look at this replay right there. Cassie Cox goes up high and just slams it down. Great job by
Good
Cassie
deep
Cox.
Yeah, good deep serve by the Bulldogs. It looked like Hudson and Sodich both want to take a shot at that one. And
everybody
usually does not end up very well when both try hit at the same
Everyone will
time.
get their stats today, one at a time now. SAGU leads 22-9.
Calverley sets up for Hudson.
That's out.
That's going to be out. Set up by that good cross-court kill attempt from Hudson. Set up that deep ball return for the Bulldogs, and 23-9's your score, and making easy work of set number 1, the Lions are.
Yeah, up by 14, and they've been owning it from the first serve. Briggs with this serve.
That's powerful hit, powerful. I like that motion from Murphy. Larissa Murphy went up high, set herself, let that shoulder just have a full rotation, and no chance for the Lions to recover off that. Nice kill. Backside is a slide to Hudson, catches the line. Hudson's got a handful of kills.
And the Lady Lions are at game point already.
And she's back to serve again, Tim. She already rattled off 8 or 9 in a row earlier in the set.
She was out there for a while.
Right here. And not to be, as Jarvis took control at that point early and ended it. Hudson takes a quick breather on the bench, and Judah next to Dr. Clancy Hayes, enjoying the action here in the Schaefer Full Life Center.
Sodich puts it away. Oh, that will not be enough.
It's going to be too many hits.
And that is it. The Lady Lions take game 1, 25-11. We'll be right back after this with game 2 of the regular season finale on SAGU Sports Live. And we're back. We're going to go over down to the court now with Bianca Arlacan, who, oh, no, hold on a moment. Well, we'll have some first game stats for you here in just a moment, but just a reminder, today is senior day. Caitlin Hudson is being featured all over the SAGU game program for the day.
And we have an update from the football field in Langston. Unfortunately, it's not good if you're a SAGU fan. 21-0, Langston up with just 8 minutes left, I believe, in the fourth quarter is what we're being told. So we need a huge comeback from the Golston-led offense, or else it could be a loss for SAGU this afternoon.
All right, we're going to go over now to Bianca Alarcon on the sideline with the family of Caitlin Hudson.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with parents of senior Caitlin Hudson, Bobby and Christina. Now, Bobby, first off to you, to have a daughter that has accomplished so much in 4 years. She started all 4 years on the volleyball team. She's going to be in the record books, ranks 3rd for all-time kills. How does it feel to have a daughter that has accomplished so much in such little time?
I'm very proud of her. Words cannot express the joy that brings to a father's heart to see a daughter just strive for just to win, just the passion for the game, and just to play without the expectation of all the goals, and just play the game because she loves it so much. And if you love the game that much, the rest will follow. And so I'm very proud of her.
And Christina, both of you have to be named most faithful parents of the year. You make it to every game. It doesn't matter if it's home or away. What do you feel like the importance is of making sure that you're supporting every single game of hers?
Well, I just think that it must feel pretty good for her to look up in the stands and always know, no matter if she's having a great game or not so great game, that there's people up there that love her and support her. So we have gone to every game this year. So.
Well, we wish Caitlin the very best. I'm sure she's very appreciative to have such supportive parents. Rob and Tim, back to you.
Thank you, Bianca, and thank you, Caitlin Hudson's family. Well, looking at some game 1 stats, Jessica Soder's leading the way with 7 kills, a .545 heading percentage, and 5 digs. Caitlin Hudson has 5 kills of her own. Meanwhile, Taylor Calverley, steady as a rock, 12 assists. Cassie Cox had 3 kills, and the Lady Lions hit .382 overall in game 2. Not quite the good story for Jarvis, though.
No, 16 kills for SAGU, just 6 for the Bulldogs, and like I said, a .033, negative .033 hitting percentage. That is not what you want to start out with set 1 against the Lady Lions. Just 14 digs, also 14 digs for the Lions. So JCC really in a hole. They need to play better. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, and that's one difference between volleyball and baseball. You can't hit a negative batting average in baseball. You can in volleyball. So they do need to recover from a very solid win by Lady Lions, 25-11. So now, J.J. Abbott, our player of the game earlier today, back to serve, trying to get game 2 started off the way they started game 1.
Calverley's going to set Cox. Cox is going to put that one down. 2 blockers in the front, unable to handle that one. Just too much power right there, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. Caitlin Hudson also had 2 aces in that first game, putting her season total up to 33. Cox.
Oh, that was with authority. Cox just said, look what I found. Take that back.
Just goes over the top.
Wow.
I mean, that is just...
That's intimidating.
That is too easy.
Those are points you remember. If you're a Bulldog, you know those are coming back again. If you make any mistake near the net, Cox is going to be there and just hammer it.
Well, but now that is the Bulldog serving. So something must have been called on that play. I did not catch what the call was. Perhaps Cassie Cox went over the line with the hit, but the score is instead 1-1.
Good play by Hudson to save. Now she gets a shot for a kill. And eats alive the libero back in the back row. We're learning now that Cassie did hit the net. It was a net call, so great kill attempt. Looked good, but she hit the net. Someone saw it.
Can it still make the highlight reels if it didn't count as a point?
That's up to you, my friend. That's your call. They'll never know. How about this one? Becca Dollar, by the way, in for the Lady Lions. She's going to catch the line. Hudson all smiles with that one as her good dear friend Becca Dollar, as we learned about during the senior day moment, checks in and enjoys time on the court with Hudson. Oh, just a huge miscommunication. That was Chavinta Johnston thought it was going to be Larissa Murphy grabbing that, and it was reciprocated, and that ball just fell right on the ground harmlessly. Lions will get that point. Briggs now. Back set slide. Oh, Hudson and Cox together. Not sure who touched it, but that went back in a hurry. No chance for the Bulldogs to recover.
Briggs back serving.
It could be deep. It is deep.
Sails wide. Bulldogs needing to find a way. We talked about this before, the intimidation factor of front lines. Lady Lions have faced some teams where they had to face that intimidation factor. Because of what we've seen in the Bulldogs a couple of times, just try to have to give a free ball to Lady Lions. They have a chance for a kill, but they're forced to knock it back over free because they don't want to have to challenge that jump of Cassie Cox.
There's another one. This time she mixes it up.
Nice dig.
Just tips it over. Here's a back set slide. Texas the back right corner. Boy, that was loud too. That was near our vicinity. That smack just reverberated through my ears.
And Cassie Cox putting together a good game of her own right now for the last home game of the regular season. Lady Lions will be hosting the NCCAA regional tournament. If they're unable to advance further in the NAIA Red River Conference tournament, they will be here playing in that for a chance to go to Florida.
How about that one from Sodich? He says, I'm still here. I'm around.
Lady Lions again up on top, 7-2 early. Trying to leave no doubt in this game.
Short serve. Nice play by Cox. Wasn't really in position to do a standard kill shot, just kind of redirected that ball. Was going to be a free ball. She just redirected it and ended up with a nice kill for Cox. Could be short, it is. In the front line, here comes the Bulldogs. Sodich off the net. It's a great play. Great play by Woods.
Excellent pursuit
Fight
on
at the
defense.
net. Will reset. Calverley back set slide, and it falls on the side of Jarvis. Point out.
The Lady Lions are winning the long points. Sometimes in the past, and we know how big that is. When you lose a long point, like we saw against Southern Nazarene, how they can just switch momentum. Well, right now, Lady Lions are keeping momentum away from Jarvis.
There's a receiving error from Kay Borchea Rusk. a 5'7" freshman from Dallas, Texas. There's going to be a timeout on the floor as your Lions jumping out to a commanding 10-2 advantage after easily manhandling Jarvis in set number 1.
Yeah, they're looking very good. This is what we said. They need to have this tune-up going into the tournament because starting next week, well, let me just tell you this right here. If you were to play all 3 games, somehow you're going to be facing off against St. Thomas, UT Brownsville, and Wiley. And that's if you get it that far. So it does not get any easier coming forward, that's for sure. Be sure and tune in to our Facebook page, facebook.com/SAGU Sports Live. We won't be in Fort Worth, obviously, with our cameras, but we'll be trying our best to keep you updated every moment come Friday at 1:30 p.m. how the Lady Lions are going to be faring against the University of St. Thomas Lady Celts. So be sure and like us on there, and come Friday at 1:30, keep your Facebook on and updating. We will try to keep you in the loop. Also, come Monday or Tuesday, we'll have highlights from this weekend up from the greatest moments of our wild 3 games in 21 hours marathon, really.
And there are some plays of a variety of sports on that Facebook page. You just simply have to see to believe.
Oh, you got to check out the October top 5. Those are the 5 of the most impressive plays you'll see in collegiate sports, in my mind. Crucial plays. So be sure and check that out.
There's a header by Danny Martinez that's unreal. And actually, I may be on the SAGU website, maybe Facebook, but there's a still photo of that header that is, it should be sent to some kind of contest. He is literally horizontal, about 4 or 5 feet in the air. And the picture was captured to where the soccer ball is right on his head. It looks like he's wearing a soccer hat. But it looked like it was photoshopped, and I realized, no, that's a real action shot at the moment where it hit his head and scored a phenomenal header.
Yeah. Definitely props to the cameraman who captured that shot.
I think that was James Wright who captured that one, so props to him as the Lions are now up 11-3. Back set slide over to Cox. Trouble, and that's gonna fall near the net.
Jarvis is doing a better job with the initial handling of the ball. They're not missing it from the beginning, but they're unable to get it all across. Stepping into the game now is Jessie Geese, 5'11" sophomore. Haven't seen her much this season, but Coach Moore is bringing her in now with the game up by 9, ahead 1-0. Block goes out off of Sodich, I believe.
Geese there to give a hand, but I do believe it was Sodich who deflected that ball out of bounds. Check that, Larisha Murphy, sophomore, 5'8" from Longview, puts the ball in play. How about that one for Geese? Steps right in and just a wheelhouse, the right-hand wheelhouse.
She pulled a full windmill with her arm there, got a lot of power. Directed that perfectly. So Jessie Geese steps in the game and makes an instant impact.
And Hannah Lewis also joins the fray, as well as Caitlin Pascal. So several freshmen and some sophomores into the game for Coach Hank Moore. Geese, a sophomore.
Looking right now. I don't believe there is an upperclassman on the court at the moment for the Lady Lions. All freshmen and sophomore at the moment.
I think you're right.
Blocked up front.
Let's see how they perform against Jarvis. This could be just a bit wide. Sodich, still a sophomore, one of the stars of the team, stays on the floor for the Lady Lions. This could be how your team may look in about a year and a half from now.
Yeah, and if it is, I'm not complaining. That's for sure. Yeah. When you think about, again, Jessica Sodich already a co-captain.
That's going to be a double contact off of Pascal.
Yeah, Jessica Sodich already a co-captain. She's just a sophomore. There might be some SAGU records in her future the way she plays.
And a mistake there, a set from Pascal over to Geese. A little miscommunication. It looks like Geese jumped a bit too early. No need to panic though. You're 13-7. That's okay. I believe Coach Moore is doing the right thing by giving these players a chance to play before the season's over. You never know. You never know when if a player goes down, gets injured. They may need one of these players, Tim, to step in at a crucial moment. So not a bad play for Coach Moore to put these players in. And now here comes Becca Dollar into the game, and out goes Kirk.
Kirk and Sodich will take a seat, and as well as Hudson will come back into the game. Now, it never hurts to have a well-trained back half of your team, because again, that's the players that can play in the future, and that's the players who need to step up. and that doesn't get over. Lady Lions stretch their lead back to 8. Recover from a brief 3-point run by the Lady Bulldogs.
Good serve. It's going to be handled by Hudson. Set from Pascal, back to Hudson. Geese. How about Lewis? Into the net from near the back row. 15-8. Bulldogs just hanging around. No need to panic yet if you're the Lady Lions, but I do like to see just some new faces out here. That's encouraging. Dollar from the back row now to Pascal, to Hudson. And Libero set that up for the front line, but no one bothered to take it. Not really a mistake from the back row, but the front row just not ready to respond.
Front row looks like it got drawn too far forward, and the serve was very good. Or no, sorry, the kill was very good, and just fell harmlessly in the middle. J.J. Abbott back to serve now as Cassie Cox rejoins the front line.
Johnson delivers for the Bulldogs.
Took it to the back end of the court and placed it in very nicely.
Shantavia Johnson, 5'7" freshman from right here in the Dallas area. Lewis over to Pascal, to Cox. Block way out of bounds. Too much velocity on that kill attempt, and the block just sailed harmlessly near the bench for the crowd, and 17-9 now the score. Briggs checks in.
Taylor Cavalry is back into the game.
Lewis takes a seat. Brittany Moore sends it over. Dances on the net and falls again on the Bulldogs side, and it looks like around the net, everything just going the way of the purple and gold today in this match.
It really is. Even with some rarely seen faces out there, Lady Lions still looking very good.
Here's a back set, slide attempt. Lions handle that one. Now Cox winds and fires, puts it away.
Cassie Cox just froze the defense on that one. When she goes that high, the thing is when she's that high in the air, she can direct the ball anywhere she wants.
I'm scared just watching back here at the table. There's fear. I have genuine fear.
Well, somehow our monitor has survived the entire year, which I guess is a testament to the accuracy of the Lady Lions. Because if every one of those efforts veers off course, we'll be putting a new one in the SAGU Sports Live budget. Blocked high.
Murphy again. Murphy again. She crossed the line, no call though. Here's a little soft shot from
well-placed ball there.
Hudson, but the return from the Bulldogs pays off. Deep left corner, no one there. Everyone was pushed forward for that net exchange. The Bulldogs saw an opening in the back left corner, took it.
The multiple blocks drew the Lady Lions over to the left and opened up that hole, taken advantage of by
There's a back
Jarvis.
set. Cox winds and fires, or Hudson winds and fires. Free ball over. Dollar to Hudson, to Cox. Yes, indeed. Rack up another kill in the stat sheet for Cassie Cox.
See right here on this replay, look at Cassie Cox. Here's how high she gets.
Great one-handed or one-foot slide.
You would need a high-speed camera to even see her arm in that replay. It just whips around so fast.
Oh, nice block by Cox again. Timed that perfectly.
Fortunately, we'll be seeing a lot more of Cassie Cox once January rolls around. She is one of our basketball players as well, pulling a little Deion Sanders. She does both sports, and she had an impressive year last year. Believe it or not, she's good at blocking there too.
Imagine that.
Lady Lions now up 23-10. Looking to again quickly end game two.
Cox, the only player above us, a bad serve. Cox, the only, and Hudson just not happy with that one. Cox, the only player above 6 foot on the roster for head coach Hank Moore. However, Jessie Giese on the court, she looks to be really close to 6 foot, listed at 5'11" though, but she is tall.
I've always found this, deal when you look at collegiate sports.
Never believe
guys always want to exaggerate their heights, and girls, for some reason, girls don't want to be 6 foot tall. Like, the girls want to be 5'11". They want to be 5'11". Guys, I've seen guys that were 6'4". There's no way they were 5'11" in college basketball. So you never buy the stat sheets when it comes to that.
Oh, nice play by Cox, and then Calverley. Free ball from Kirk will play on. Back set. Sails wide.
And game point for the Lady Lions. Jessie Giese will step back in. And the Lady Lions look to take game 2 by possibly the exact same margin they took game 1 with. Emily Smith back serve.
She's got to be 6 foot. I'm going for 6 feet. That one might be over. But it would have been behind the antenna.
And so the Lady Lions claim game 2, 25-11. They lead 2 games to none now. As we will move into game 3. Well, as we mentioned, it is senior day. It is the last home game for Caitlin Hudson. And we sat down with her earlier this week to just talk about her entire career here at SAGU, everything that how it's meant, and just, to get those last thoughts and see where our big senior is going forward. So let's go to that now.
Please join us, ladies and gentlemen, in a round of applause for these hard-working ladies.
Caitlin Hudson, senior outside hitter for the Lady Lions volleyball team. Now, Caitlin, to start off with, what brought you to SAGU?
Actually, I think the church that I started attending to when I was a sophomore in high school, the youth pastor went to SAGU and talked about it a little bit. And as I got older and started looking into colleges, I'm not gonna lie, I was looking mostly into going D2. And a family friend, he went to Evangel in Missouri. And so my mom was kind of curious to see if there was an AG college around home so I could stay close to home. And she got online and just Googled SAGU and encouraged me to call Coach Moore, and kind of all happened from there.
What is it like to live on campus, in the dorms, to have the chapel experience? What's the overall experience that you have as a SAGU student?
My overall experience has been very, very fun. I love living on campus, very close-knit. I've actually lived in Bridges and Savelle, and now I live in Gwines. I've stayed in Gwines over a year now, so that's probably my favorite place, just bias.
The coach has told us that no one on the team outworks you. This is very complimentary. What do you have to say about the work ethic that you put into this team?
Basically, I've been blessed to come and be able to play collegiate volleyball, so I'm just gonna go all out every practice. Just growing up and playing club, I would always have coaches say, hit this ball like it's your last, and just that's kind of how I come into practice. And I play as if this was my last time I were to get to play. I'd want to end on a good note. So.
The team has recovered from a 1-8 start earlier in the season, and now you guys are in contention for the Red River Athletic Conference. What caused this turnaround?
I think just the good competition that we had. I know we didn't start off too well, but just the early play of playing against good teams. And I think when we were 1-8, we had to kind of dig down deep and realize that we can pull out wins. And I think we had to come together more, and we realized that we had to play more together as a team and be unified.
You're ranked number 3 all-time kills in SAGU history for the Lady Lions volleyball team. What inspires you to play at such a high level?
Once again, when I first got into volleyball, I started off real basic, playing with the Y, and then I brought to my parents' attention that I wanted to do it on a more competitive level, and they were, they sacrificed a lot of stuff to get me into a club, and just from a very young age, I was playing at a top level, and that's just how I've always, it's just in my blood to say, so I'm just used to it.
Now, following your SAGU career, what are some of your post-grad plans?
To graduate, but probably be a coach. Somewhere I had an opportunity to coach an organization for this fall, but just too much going on that I couldn't do that. So, and they still want to keep in contact with me. So after I graduate, hopefully the door has remained open for that. But that's, you know, I'm just staying open to whatever God has for me. So.
But we will still see volleyball in your future. Yes. Well, thanks so much for being with us today, Caitlin.
And welcome back to the Schaefer Full Life Center Gymnasium as your Lady Lions have jumped out to a 2-0 set lead on Caitlin Hudson's last regular season match, and she's playing great, Tim. She's got 8 kills on the night, on the day, after two sets, a 429 hitting percentage after 364 in set number 1. Overall, the Lions 481 hitting percentage in set number 2, led really by Cox with 8 kills. She has 11 on the match so far today.
And for the Lady Bulldogs, it just doesn't look as good by a long shot. Only 4 kills, hit 0 in the game, which is an improvement from
it's actually an improvement
from .033, negative 0.33. So Lady Lions.
Just 4 kills, by the way, compared to 16 for the Lions. Let's go now to our court reporter, Bianca Alarcon, who's standing by with assistant coach Jordan Briggs. Bianca.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with assistant coach for the Lady Lions volleyball team, Jordan Briggs. Now, Jordan, you've had the opportunity to coach Caitlin Hudson, but you've also had the opportunity to play on a team for 2 years with her. What is the team going to miss most about her?
Her fire and her passion for the game. No matter where you are in the match, Caitlin always comes in with a spark. She's just a fire, like a ball of fire on the court, and we're really going to miss that about her.
And Jarvis College, they just opened their volleyball program after a 2-year hiatus. What kind of advantage do you feel like that gave us going into the game tonight?
That gives us a really big advantage because they're just rebuilding their program again. But they have actually surprised us and have come out very strong. So we're very impressed with their program right now.
Well, thanks so much, Jordan.
Thank you.
Rob and Tim, back to you.
Thank you, Bianca. Well, we're just about ready for Game 3 to begin. The Lady Lions have just owned this so far. They won Game 1 25-11 and Game 2 25-11. So they are retaking the court now, looking to finish off with a sweep after winning their first game of the day in a 3-0 sweep as well. This one has been far more convincing though. And they're just moments away now from ending their season. There's always a bittersweet moment when the regular season comes to an end, but it's good to know that there will be reason to be back in this gymnasium. Well, again, you don't hope we're back in this gymnasium. You hope you find a way to get to the NAI National Tournament.
And make sure you like us on Facebook. We love to promote our website. On Facebook, it's a fabulous source of information. Judah loves that website on Facebook. SAGU Sports Live is your link. And my co-host, my color analyst, Tim Roberts, also produces and oversees the highlights and the data, the stats information. And if you're interested in SAGU Sports, that's the place to go for all your information.
And contact us. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see. We want your feedback. We just want your approval, honestly.
Just tell us you like us. Please, like us.
Yeah, tell us what you'd like to see more of, and we will supply it.
Hannah Lewis sent back to the bench. She tried to come in for Calverley, but whistled off. Calverley puts it in play. And now Lewis will come in. You have to educate me on that one. I'm not sure why she couldn't come in.
I'm not sure. I think it might have been because of the fact that the serve was not returned. And she was next on the serve. She had to serve one time.
Gotcha.
I would have to pull out my NAI handbook on why
you need to get on that. You need to figure that one out. Viewers want to know. I want to know.
Point goes to Lady Bulldogs, who have not led on the night or the evening, have tied it only once.
Shantavia Johnson puts the ball in play. The set from Pascal, and Lewis puts that one. No, check that. Geese, sorry, that was Geese. Jessie Geese, a sophomore from Tulsa, Oklahoma, puts that away. She claims to be 5'11". We'll dig that one out as well. But now also into the match is Becca Dollar, a freshman from Brock High School in Brock, Texas. She'll actually serving, put this ball into play. And that's going to be a double contact called on the freshman, Caitlin Pascal, attempting to serve the ball or set the ball. Brittany Moore will send that ball right into the net. Side out Lady Lions, and now Cox and Abbott, our player of the game earlier this morning, checks back in. Geese takes a seat, as does the libero, Emily Smith. Here's a set for Murphy, and another whistle that might be a lift. This is a lift call against the Lady Lions. 4-3 Lions lead the Bulldogs by 1. Larisha Murphy from Longview will put the ball in play. And that's just an overpass from Dollar on that dig attempt, sailed over the net and just put away by the front line of JCC.
Jarvis with the chance to take a lead here. Tied it up 4-4, but into the net.
Here comes Briggs and Calverley back into the game. Pascal and Lewis will head to the bench, and I expect to see quite a bit of rotations here. Coach Hank Moore probably want to keep a lot of his players fresh, give them a lot of playing time in what looks to be a relatively easy match as they head into
the conference tournament. You don't want to forget this is your third game in less than 24 hours, and you want to keep people healthy. You don't want a sudden twisted ankle before next Friday.
Good point. Very good point. Hudson, the senior, adds one more kill to her
career
long list of kills. Number 3, I think you said.
Number 3 overall. Well over 1,000.
I think it was 1,074 as of this morning's match, so she's probably nearing the 1,100 mark, I would imagine, or getting somewhat close to it. There's a push over from Calverley. Nice dump. Pays off.
Point to the Lady Lions.
Double contact point, SAGU.
There's a whistle. Another double contact against Jarvis.
And if Jarvis wants any chance to think about extending this to 4, those kind of errors cannot happen.
Back set, here's a slide. Move from Cox, it looks to be just wide it is. Red flag goes up. Those are the kind of plays that you just cannot afford to make in a couple of days when you're playing against St. Thomas, UT Brownsville. You got to put those away. So I hate to see sloppy play like this from the Lions.
I mean, it's expected at this point they might be relaxing a little bit, up 2 games to none, playing their third game less than 24 hours. But you'd like to see them finish strong. And Cassie Cox, smart play there. Lady Lions still definitely in control of game 3 here.
Sodich back in for Dollar. Caitlin Hudson put the ball in play for the Lions. Could sail wide. Emily Smith elects to take it, and now Sodich will have to give a mid-court kill attempt, and it sails into the net. Those are tough to have. She's off her back foot, not in best position. Side out Bulldogs, and Hudson will take a break.
Got to get back over.
How about Sodich? Off the net. Bulldogs handle it. Back set. Now set over to Sodich. Jarvis recovers. There's a block and it falls on the Lions side. Nice play by Shatavia Johnson. On a long rally, but no one ever took command of that point.
Yeah, there's never really a solid kill attempt on either side. Jarvis, that's the problem with how they played so far. They get back into the game, cut the lead down to 10-7, and then a service error puts them right back down by 4. If you eliminate 3 simple errors they've made so far in this game, this could be a very different score. Now Jarvis could be threatening to push this to a 4th game. That falls for an ace for Emily Smith. The Lady Lions go right back up by 5.
It's good to see Peter Sturgeon, and you're right there. He's right there in the right-hand corner of your screen. Peter Sturgeon, one of the stars for the SAGU soccer team, here supporting the Lady Lions as one of the line judges. So that's the kind of community you have here among SAGU sports. They come out and support each other's games. Sturgeon volunteers to run the lines, and that's a healthy athletic department when those kind of things are happening.
Emily Smith serving for 2 straight points now and drops it in. Very nice. Barely back over.
That's good. Not a great set by Geese. Sodas just had to recover that one. And now a great stop by Smith. And they're going to call, I think, another double contact. Probably, I think it was going to be on the libero, Smith. 13-8 your score as Jessica Marenko will put the ball in play. She's from Porter, Texas, and she tags the net, and it gets over. Now here comes Sodic. Let's get this thing done, she says. 14-8. Briggs out, Caverly out, Lewis back in, Pasco back in. As we expected, Hank Moore with the merry-go-round. Every few points, cycling more players in and out.
Keeping it fresh, keeping people experienced.
It's going to be close to the line. Bulldogs play it, and it's going to be a double contact called.
Or a lift.
Check out a lift. Lift called against Jarvis.
The Lady Lions now up by 7. Starting to get on a roll here to try to put this away. Extended rally here.
Yes, it is.
And
not a great set. Soda's just hammered that one from near midcourt. Much better attempt on that one.
And Brittany Moore covered her head there. I think the better option might have been to hit it back over. The Lady Lions are now up by 8.
Kirk takes it. Short set over to Geese. Into the net. Set not high enough, or she jumped too early. One of the two, or a combination of both, and not a well-executed plan of attack by Southwestern. But they're going to give the point.
But the ball got over the net.
Oh, they did get over the net.
The ball got over the net.
It looked like
by the Bulldogs.
There you go. My mistake. My mistake. It looked like it hit on the line side. Now that one does go on the line side, unfortunately. So they split the last 2 points. It's 17-9. Geese. That kill attempt returned. Play on. Here's a set over. Back set. Lewis takes it. Now over to Kirk. And she sends it home. Nice backcourt kill from Alyssa Kirk.
Not what you expect from your defensive specialist, but she takes it from the back row with a solid kill. Lady Lions up by 9, approaching the end.
The sophomore from Ohio. Pataskala, Ohio.
Pataskala, Ohio.
I think I butchered that name last night. And I was really reprimanded by Mark Ward, who was filling in for you last night, but I'll get it right. Pataskala. And a whistle. And libero not allowed to serve.
Now they set back in.
That's going to be a double contact from the back row from the libero. Geese out. Smith out. Abbott in, and Cox returns back into the game. Looking to send this one home as the Lions are up comfortably 20-10. 5 more will conclude a double sweep, Tim. 3 in the morning and could be 3 in the afternoon. And that beats 10 sets. You'd rather play 6 instead of 10 on that last weekend of play. Lewis handles that one over to Smith. Cox will have to send this one over softly. Becca, bump back set to Cox, handled by the Bulldogs. Dollar. Nice recovery from Cox. And Dollar sends it into the net from midcourt. Not the best of kill attempts, and the Bulldogs will capture that point. Back set to Hudson. Nice block. I'm not sure if that was Cox or Pascal, Tim, but they took that. But unfortunately, it went out of bounds. So 2013 your score. Bulldogs playing tenacious. Not going away easily. Cox wants to send one home, and that just gets tangled to the net several times. So Cox will score a kill on that one, 21-13. Briggs checks back in. Calverley checks back in. Now, looks like Hank Moore wants to end this. He's got his setter back in.
Yeah, he's got his moving back to what would be traditional starting lineup, trying to put 4 more points.
There's
Cassie
a battle
Cox
at the net.
Challenges. Good read. Lady Lions followed where they thought the point was going to happen, left the hole open.
Kira Woods puts the ball in play for the Bulldogs. Here's a set. It's going to be back set to Hudson. She finds the back left corner in that patented cross-court kill with the right hand of Hudson.
Now just 3 points away from the sweep.
Nice serve, nice serve. There's an ace from Hudson. And this is fitting, isn't it, that the senior could put a bow tie on her regular season at the service line with a few more good points, including a kill right there, an ace right there. Let's see if she can wrap up this match, getting 2 more points for her team. She'll need this one, then 1 more. That's going to sail wide, and Hudson will have a chance to close it out at the service line, Tim. Match point. Love to see an ace here. Love to see an ace. Come on, hey, Caitlin, let's put it in there. Sodich. Hudson in the back row. Sends over to Calverley. Hudson. They're looking for Hudson. They're looking for Hudson. Calverley's looking for Hudson. But that's it. That's all you need. Game. And match to the Lady Lions. And they sweep the day. 3-0 against Texas Christian, then 3-0 against Jarvis Christian, or Texas College, and 3-0 against Jarvis Christian. And that's all she wrote for this Saturday, as Hudson ends on a high note, and the Lions now will go into the tournament, the number 6 seed, which begins in just a few days. Red River Conference Tournament.
Yep, good day for the Lions. Win 6 games out of 6. So we will go to a quick commercial break as the teams meet on the court for prayer and be back with post-game comments.
And the Lions come away with another win today to finish their season at 17-14, and I believe their regular season or their conference ends up at 7-4. 7-4. So a great finish to this season, which began 1-8 as you documented earlier. So Hank Moore has his team on the rise, and congratulations to Caitlin Hudson, senior day. We're going to elect her as the player of the game today,
yeah,
Tim.
And with good reason. She had very good stats. Look at the final stats here. She had 10 kills for the Lady Lions, 391 hitting percentage, 8 digs, second only to Emily Smith, the libero, and 4 aces on the day. And a couple of those were very good coming towards the end of there. She was in there serving to finish off her senior career as a SAGU Lady Lion. Cassie Cox led the team with 13 kills. Jessica Sodich had 12 to keep her total very high on the season. Jessica Sodich also had 8 digs. As we mentioned, Emma Smith led the team with 9 digs overall. Taylor Calverley, 28 assists, down a little bit from where she was in the first game of the day. but that's because there's a lot more players in there. Caitlin Pascal actually came in and had 8 assists as well, so a little bit more of a spread look than we've seen in the past. Bring their numbers down a little bit, but still very high on the season. For the Lady Bulldogs, they were led by Larisha Murphy with 8 kills, Jessica Marinko with 13 assists, and the digs leader was also Jessica Marinko with 7 digs.
Only hit .062 hitting percentage. Yeah, that's not going to win you many matches at all. So
no, and the Lady Lions.
Jarvis struggled today.
Lady Lions, really, they're the better team. They dominated from the beginning, winning 25-11, 25-11, and 25-14. The closest the Bulldogs ever got was when it got to around the teens. They were still sort of in it. Lady Lions always had what it took and always had the power to keep on prevailing over the Lady Bulldogs.
And I think Bianca now is standing by with the senior, Caitlin Hudson, our player of the game. So Bianca, congratulate Hudson for us when they're ready. Are we going to go to her now?
No, we're not ready with that yet.
In just a moment, we'll send that to you in just a quick moment. We're still prepping that interview for you.
Yeah, as we look through right here, Lady Lions had 89 total attacks on the day, 81 total attacks for Jarvis, but the Lady Lions with a hitting percentage of .382. As a team hitting percentage, that is very, very good.
Okay, I think we're ready now for Hudson.
Yeah, I think we're ready for Caitlin Hudson now. Bianca, go ahead.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with player of the game, Caitlin Hudson. Now, Caitlin, you had a 3-game sweep this morning, 3-game sweep today. Could you have imagined a better way to close your last home game?
Nope.
And also, you had 10 kills, 8 digs. What was the mindset coming into today's game against Jarvis?
I just wanted to play the best of my abilities and go out doing the best that I could. So.
And how does it feel to be, this is your last home game? I know that you're going to be entering into postseason. How has the team been preparing for that?
We work hard every day in practice and just making sure we have our priorities straight and getting what we need to get done, like our schoolwork and stuff. And so when we come into practice and games that we're ready and our minds are focused on this and something off the court. So.
Okay, well, thanks so much, Caitlin.
No problem.
Back to you, Rob and Tim.
Thank you, Bianca, and thank you to Caitlin Hudson. Congratulations on a great year. We'll see more of you in action beginning this Friday, November 9th, Tim. SAGU versus St. Thomas.
Yeah, 1:30 p.m. The Lions will be taking on the Celtics. And you see right there, the season series, SAGU won both times. They won in 5 sets both times. Thrilling sets all the way, but they won down in Houston. They won here in Waxahachie. We'll see come Saturday if they have what it takes to win one more time, this time up in Fort Worth. These teams know each other very well. And SAGU, I think they have a good chance. I think the Lady Lions always have a good chance when they go out there and start playing. So we'll see exactly what they have. Again, stay tuned with us on the Facebook page that day. We'll be giving you updates, hopefully, as each game is happening to let you know how the Lady Lions are doing, whether or not they'll be playing. If they do win, they'll be playing that night, 7 p.m., hardly any time of rest. And they'll be taking on UT Brownsville, who, as we keep on saying, they were number 1 in the nation until they lost to the now number 1 team in the nation, reigning national champions. That'll be a tough one if the Lady Lions get to. First, you got to get through St. Thomas. So stay with us and we keep you updated on that.
And our next broadcast is our final broadcast of the fall semester. That's Saturday, 2 p.m. at Lumpkin Stadium, as our football team will take on the Texas College Steers. I got it right now.
We played them this morning in volleyball. We play them next Saturday in football.
Hook 'em horns. And we think that, we believe that Langston has defeated SAGU, unfortunately, so we're looking to probably salvage the season at potentially 4-6. So we're looking to equal our high water mark as a school. Next Saturday, 2 p.m. Be sure to join us on SAGU.tv for that. So
it's also Waxahachie Appreciation Day.
Is that right?
The first annual, so hopefully a lot of the public will be out there. So if you're in the area, be sure and swing by and enjoy some football action as we close out the season. If you can't be there, obviously tune in to SAGU Sports Live.
On behalf of our producer, John Cookman, our student director, BJ Roybal, his student crew, this is Rob Price. He's Tim Roberts. Thanks for watching SAGU.tv here on SAGU Sports Live. We'll see you this Saturday at 2 p.m. Take care and God bless.